OSP was interesting going in. The big question was, what is the tipping point on size? Rothwell barely makes the heavyweight limit. I mean, he's right up there, that 265. OSP's moving up from 205 pounds. And we have seen historically guys who move up, we find out that size advantage is not a real thing. It's a size disadvantage. And generally, the bigger guy will just get tired faster. The bigger guy is a little bit of a target that just can't move as fast. And his power really never comes into play because he's also not as quick. So he's never really able to land that big shot historically. We've seen this many times. Now, we've also seen many times where that rule doesn't apply. And tonight would be one of those examples. Look, Rothwell was walking OSP down. Regardless of Rothwell winning the fight, I was more impressed that Rothwell was the one pushing the pace. He was walking OSP down. I've never thought of Big Ben as a really fast guy. Apparently, he's a pretty damn fast heavyweight because OSP is anything but slow, and Rothwell was getting off more than he was. Rothwell was getting to positions. Rothwell was smothering, even on their feet. It's easy to see when a guy gets on top of you and he's smothering you, all right? He's quite literally covering you and holding you down. His belly's over here and his elbow's over here and his knees on this. And Rothwell was doing it on his feet. He was backing OSP up against the cage. OSP come throw something at him. Rothwell would just take it. He would just smother him and take it. Rothwell's got something known as a five-finger choke. It looks very similar to a guillotine, where he's out front, he's got no arm involved, both hands locked underneath your chin. And it's kind of Rothwell's position. Like, if you're fighting Rothwell, that's what you're going to study, and that's where you're not going to want to be. It'd be like the Von Flue choke is OSP's position, just by example. Rothwell got to that position. OSP was well-trained. Came right to the wrist, two hands on one, tied up the wrist, tied up the finger so that Rothwell couldn't get to his lock, couldn't get to his position. It was a very good fight. It was a very competitive fight. I like OSP at heavyweight. I also think, in all fairness, OSP gets a little bit of time at heavyweight. First time doesn't count. Everybody knows that. I mean, at some point, you have to go out there and experience it. I don't think that OSP is going to have a worse experience than he did tonight. And quite frankly, regardless of the result, OSP did a very good job. Moved around real well. I thought his kicks were on point. I thought his punches were on point. I don't think that any other heavyweight can smother like Rothwell. I don't think any other heavyweight knows how to cut off the ring like Rothwell, back you up, absorb shots just to throw some back. I just don't really see that within the heavyweight division. I do see that in other weight classes. I don't see it within the heavyweight division. I think that OSP, I hope that this experiment continues. I hope he stays at heavyweight. I saw a very good heavyweight performance out of him. But it was Ben's night. Ben Rothwell's a very good competitor. And I don't feel that he always gets credit for that. Sometimes Ben is one of these guys that tries too hard. And whenever you see a guy trying to do something and you're able to identify it, then that's kind of what sticks with you. Leave all the words and the gamesmanship and the showmanship out of it. Just look at that performance. Ben Rothwell delivered very, very well tonight. He did exactly what he needed to do against a hard opponent. As much as I'm telling you, I don't think OSP's next opponent, regardless of who it is, I don't think it's going to be as hard as the one he had tonight. I don't know that Rothwell's next opponent is going to be as hard as what he dealt with tonight. He dealt with a very powerful, very explosive, smaller, faster athlete. OSP is an athlete. Don't forget, this was a college football star who had NFL aspirations, decided to change course, went over to MMA, made it to the highest levels there too. Number one guy in the world, fought for championships. I mean, a very special opponent that Rothwell just smothered. And I say smothered because, I mean, he swarmed him. Rothwell was really never in trouble. Sure, he took some shots. Rothwell was showing head movement. Rothwell was showing fakes, feints, groundwork. Rothwell was showing a level of conditioning to push and push. That was a great fight. I had a lot of fun watching that.